Title screen.
Voyage Through Disability, an individual life coaching and corporate consulting company, is proud to present This Week in Disability History for October 23 to 29, 2023.
We transition to a classroom with a chalkboard. A gray-haired woman with pale skin enters. She starts pointing to the board with a pointer. Text starts to appear and she reads it.
This is my Breast Cancer Awareness Month video. I am a survivor and had my own personal experiences. This video reflects some of that. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice.
We transition to a porch overlooking some trees and houses. The porch has a table and 2 chairs. Sitting in the right-hand chair is a woman with curly brown hair. She's wearing a sweater with a purple and dark blue pattern. A bald woman wearing a pink and purple baseball cap, a black skirt, black shirt, and gray jacket walks in and sits down.
Emma, how are you really doing?
I'm doing okay. The anti-nausea meds seem to be working and I'm managing at work. But it's October, and it feels like I can't escape from pink ribbons. Even when I'm relaxing and watching TV, there'll be a commercial. I can't wait until November.
Do you know the history of awareness ribbons?
No, maybe it would help me deal with them.
In the early 1970s there was a song called, "Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree." It had been based on a Civil War story. The song became popular and stayed on the charts. Then, yellow ribbons became associated with American politics. In 1975, a wife of one of the people convicted in Watergate used a yellow ribbon to remind people about his sentence. Yellow ribbons around trees really took off in 1979, because of the Iran hostage crisis. Again, a wife started the tradition. This time, it was picked up nationwide.
Wow! When did ribbons get to breast cancer and illness awareness?
We're getting closer. In 1982, the Susan G. Komen Foundation started. They always used pink as part of their branding. But, they didn't immediately have ribbons. During the Gulf War, around 1991-1992, yellow ribbons were used to show support for the troops. In 1991, the red ribbon was created for AIDS awareness. Back then, there weren't any medications for AIDS. The original AIDS ribbon had a pointier, more folded top. It was more often worn as a pin instead of put on trees. Now, we start getting to the pink ribbon. There was a woman named Charlotte Haley. She had a lot of relatives who had been diagnosed with breast cancer. In 1991, she started a grassroots ribbon campaign to build awareness about NIH's limited funding for breast cancer. Her ribbon was the shape we know today, but it was peach. A woman's magazine called Self contacted her. They wanted to help her ribbons get national exposure. She declined because she didn't want to go corporate. Estee Lauder and the Komen Foundation found out that they could legally use that shape of ribbon, as long as they changed the color. And that's how the pink ribbon was born. Around that time, corporations were also learning that people would buy an item if it was linked to a good cause. Breast cancer was seen as a good cause. It was safer than AIDS as a social cause. Plus, females do the majority of shopping, so breast cancer was seen as a relevant cause for brands to magnify.
Wow! I never thought of it like that.
Think about how many items you've seen that have the ribbon. I once saw a pink ribbon brush for a horse. One question to ask is whether the ribbon is simply decorative or if part of the sale is getting donated to a charity. The positive side of all the marketing has been increased awareness, more charitable giving, and increased governmental funding and research.
Yeah, the older oncology nurses sometimes talk about what chemo used to be like. That's part of why I'm conflicted about the color pink. I know the research it funded and how it lobbied the government and drug companies to spend more money on research has made my experiences easier, but it sometimes gets overwhelming to see so much pink marketing.
With your experiences, have you run across other breast cancer charities that you found helpful?
Yeah, I've discovered a couple.
Let's go inside so I can type them into my computer and share them with other friends.
We have a scene transition in which light blue, light green, pink, and purple circles pop up and then disappear. They reveal a home office. Sally is sitting at a desk with a computer. Emma is sitting on the floor and petting a small dog.
Which organizations do you like?
GoodWishesScarves.org is for people with any type of cancer. They'll send an expensive scarf or hat for free. I really like mine. I wore it yesterday, which is why I've got my baseball cap today. My cancer isn't metastatic, but Metaviva.org supports patients and caregivers, and funds research. The last statistic I saw a while ago was that 1 in 3 people diagnosed at an earlier stage will eventually develop metastatic breast cancer. Pinkfund.org will help with financial issues other than medical costs during active treatment, so things like paying rent. Personally, I also like CancerSucks.com and StupidCancer.org, partly because of their names. Cancer Sucks is for anyone, Stupid Cancer is aimed at teens and young adults with any type of cancer. Those are just some of the less known organizations, there are a lot more. Then, there are the big ones, like Komen and the American Cancer Society. Charity Navigator is a good place to go to investigate nonprofits, before you give money or time.
Thanks. Do you want some lunch?
That sounds absolutely wonderful.
We fade out and then fade in on the previous classroom. The same woman is still standing at the board and using her pointer. She reads the following text which appears on the board.
This video was brought to you by Voyage Through Disability. VTD is a life coaching company focused on helping people with all types of illnesses, disabilities, and pain conditions discover their goals and create plans to reach them.
We transition to the end scene.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please visit www.voyagethroughdisability.com for information about life coaching and corporate consulting.